Hello everybody, this week's scenario is Reton. Reton features two rectangular zones that can be stored by warcasters, warlocks, warjats, and battle engines for one control point. Two flags that can be controlled by solos, warcasters, and warlocks for one control point, and objectives that can be stored for one control point. Victory conditions consist of scoring 5 more control points than your opponent, or caster elimination.
Okay, this battle I took King Nothing and Bump in the Night theme. I've got 3 Frightmares, a Gorehound, 2 Kravits, a full unit of Hollowmen with an attachment, Murder Crows, Piggybacks, Twilight Sisters, Lord Longfellow, Trapperkin, and a Glimmer. I got the Longfellow for free and the Lantern Man for free.
Hey guys, it's GG Will again. This game I decided to play Krueger the Stormlord with a Bones of Orboros list. I brought Metalith, 2 Wold Wardens, 2 Wold Weirds, a Celestial Fulcrum, Shifting Stones, Sentry Stones, and Mannequin, Black Bloodstone Shaper, and Dallas Grove. Pretty standard list, very control-y, very assassinating. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
Okay, so I got to deploy first. I deployed my Hollowmen to the left by the water and the hill. They don't have Pathfinder, so it was kind of a weird spot, but I thought it was the best placement for them. They have Aberration, so they were going to be able to get pretty far. The small cav I put by the wall. They can charge over it with Pathfinder, but it was also a very weird spot. Maybe looking at this now, I would have flipped them. I put the Piggybacks in front. That's just a great unit. I need to get them out there. They're not very fast though once you put that shield wall order on. Frightmares in the back, and I put the Twilight Sisters closer to the pigs and the small cav, just in case anything dies. They'll be right there to help them out. They're not going to really do any offensive spells. Kravits are also going to be in the back, and Gorehound's going to be on the far right.
Alright guys, my deployment was pretty simple. I had a lot of advanced deploy models, so I didn't have a whole lot to deploy during my normal deployment. My opponent had 1 advanced deploy model, so not a huge issue for countering my advanced deployment. I put both my Wold Weirds center just so they could go either direction if I wanted to send them one way or another. I started putting 2 Wold Wardens to the right side, and then I realized I was going to put my Battle Engine to the right to support taking out the Hollowmen and controlling that right zone. So I put Metalith and a Warden to the left, and my Weirds in the center with support in the back with the Stone Shapers. My opponent did his 1 model, and then as I'm sitting here, I know that I want to utilize the blocking line of sight terrain with the mannequins and the trees and the stones. So I put the stones center just to give me some good center line push if I want to use it, and then I put 1 unit of mannequins to the right, 1 unit of mannequins to the left, and 1 Dallas Grove to the left and 1 to the right.
Okay, turn 1's gonna be pretty simple. I chose not to deploy my Murder Crows. I didn't say that during deployment, but I chose not to do that. I prayed his Battle Engine. I'm gonna Aberration the Lantern Men. Probably gonna run them 10, close to 10. He does have those spray constructs, so that's kind of an issue. So I'm gonna try and stay out of their threat range, but I think I still go up a little bit too far. So I'm also going to run my Trapperkin all the way up there. It's just out of reach of their sprays, and then I put the Hollowman in front because the Trapperkin's pretty good, so I don't want him to die early. Everything else, piggies are gonna get run full because I don't have to worry about anything attacking them right now. Nayslayers are gonna get put right over the wall. He has another unit of sprays on that side too, but I also keep those Nayslayers out of threat range because I want to be able to just, you know, charge armor pierce into anything that he puts close up. They're pretty fast. The Frightmares also go a little bit forward, just right behind the pigs. Everything on the first turn just kind of stays out of threat. Okay, so towards the end of my turn, I start noticing how bad the Hollowmen are in position. That battle engine is pretty much just going to shred them. Even though I have the Murder Crows coming in, I'm pretty worried about them. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, mark that unit off. My plan though for this game was to ambush the Murder Crows and then Sands of Fate my caster to the Murder Crows, close to his caster, and then just, you know, -2 armor and the Dark Shroud, and then Frightmares into his caster for Assassination. That's kind of my game plan. It doesn't really pan out that way, but that was my idea going into this game. So into my turn, I'm gonna move my caster up and then drop 4 smoke clouds, kind of blocking his line of sight to things. That's probably my favorite thing about this caster, is just being able to block line of sight for 16 inches.
Okay, so starting this turn, I'm looking at my opponent's stuff. I kind of did some measuring before we started, and I know that I want to try to take out some of the Hollowmen with some sprays. I want to see if I can get to that Gorehound with some sprays, because if I can hit him, even POW 10 sprays, I think he's armor 13, POW 10 sprays are going to hurt that beast, and you know, kind of hinder my opponent's ability to use him, and maybe keep him from dropping an extra cloud next turn if he has to heal him. So that's one of my focuses. I end up being pretty much incapable of doing it just because I can't put anything anywhere to see him, and I can't get that tree over there far enough to see him so I can TK him to get him closer. I'm a little concerned right now because my opponent has a lot of infantry, and while I have played this list into some other infantry lists, it still concerns me, just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to take out all this infantry, especially the pity bats. Them having impervious flesh and bringing me down to 1 die on damage. It's just it's hard to conceptually deal with those guys. So you see me measuring there. I was just seeing if I could possibly see the Gorehound and get a spray off on him. But it looks like it's just not to be. Not to mention these clouds right now. I hate cloud walls. They are the worst. And it's going to be a pain in the butt to try and get to his things if he keeps dropping his cloud walls the way that he is. And it allows him to kind of move his army up safely while keeping me from being able to rough him up before I get to him. So it's a real problem, and I don't have anything to really mitigate that. So right now I'm moving up this right-hand unit and just trying to move things so that I can get some early sprays on those hollowmen. I'm hoping to take out, like maybe 3 or 4, really kind of bring down their extra capabilities. I don't want to take too long on this turn because we're playing on the clock, and turn 1 shenanigans, you can't really spend too much time on them, otherwise you're really gonna suck on your next turn or the turn after, when you're really having to push that plot fast. The first guy who does this spray, he kills absolutely nothing, which I fully expected. The second guy, I go ahead and start boosting some attack rolls. That way I'm pretty likely to kill. If I hit them, it's dice off 2, so unless I roll double 1s, I'm pretty much going to kill. Second one I hit, I roll, and I end up rolling 1-2 here, and I still kill it, so that's always great. So I killed 3 models with him, so I got about what I wanted out of that unit there. I know that I'm probably going to lose those guys this next turn, but that's okay, because I can always bring one back, and I can kind of play around with how I want to put them on the table so that I can boost my attack rolls. This other unit, I'm just going to move up and kind of try to keep him from being able to just run up and engage my war beasts or support models behind them. I just want them to be kind of speed bumps for a turn, and if the 2 there die, that's okay. He might be able to kill all 3. If that's what he spends his time doing, that's okay with me. They're speed bumps. That's what they do. They're speed bumps that can hurt you a lot. So okay with me either way. So at this point, I'm moving up my beasts, just trying to make sure that I am contesting the zones. That way, I don't have to worry about making a mistake later on and not contesting zones, because that's huge. If your opponent can get early control points because you just forgot to think about those zones early on, it'll make a huge difference in gameplay. This World Weird, we're just moving up kind of center. And this list is very good at assassinations, especially with those World Weirds. So I just wanted to put them in a place where they would be capable of possibly doing something next turn. I don't really know what my opponent's going to do next turn, but I just always want to put them in a place that they're capable of doing some real work. So at this point, I'm going to move up my battle engine, and I'm going to check to make sure that these 2 World Weirds are in my command range, I think. I might do it afterwards, just to be sure. But, nope, it looks like I was already pretty certain. There's 10 inches, so like, I pulled the Fury off of those guys and put it at my battle engine. I go ahead and spend 3 to put up Windstorm, and then spend 2 to TK my battle engine, so that he doesn't get destroyed by a unit of ambushing murder crows.
Okay, turn 2, there was no surprises really. My Hollowman got kind of chewed up. He advanced everything. The battle engine he placed pretty well because it wasn't in charging range of my ambushing crows, and his caster also wasn't in range of me running my crows up and Sansa fading. So that was kind of a bummer. Right here I'm just trying to checking the measurements and, you know, getting my hopes up for no reason. I didn't really know what to do at this point. My plan was just to run in, either kill the battle engine or try to assassinate, but I couldn't do either. So just reverted back to playing this heavy infantry list. The Hollowmen aren't going to do much at this point, not on that side anyways. I don't think they're going to be able to shoot through the battle engine. They're not very good at that. So right now I'm looking at a couple things I could try and pick off. I can try and charge those Nayslayers into that tree, but I don't have line of sight. So they're probably just going to go after one or two of the little construct spray guys. Trapperkin, I'm probably just going to move him up 7 and star action, make a trapdoor. I don't really have the battle group to play the objective, but I will contest it as much as I can. Looking back on this now, I probably just bring the murder crows in anyways, even though I know I can't do the assassination. I just bring them in there on the right side away from the battle engine, and make him really have to choose which way the battle engine goes. Because right now, I mean, going forward it's just good for him. He's got really good targets and a good way of hitting them, killing them all in one swipe. So moving these Hollowmen over, I'm going to CRA into his battle engine. Don't think I did a whole lot, but it was about my only option at that point. Like I said before, I kind of already written them off whenever I walked them up there and knew that they were in threat range. Right here, I'm gonna give the piggybacks a shield wall order and move them up just right in front of the cloud. That way, if he wanted to get to my objective or to my caster, he's got to go through those pigs. The Nayslayers, like I said, they're just gonna charge these spraying constructs and shred 2 of them and reposition. Leave 3 back just in case, you know, the unit's not together, so the Twilight Sisters always have an option of bringing a couple back and sending them in. So after repositioning, I'm gonna check and make sure that this one's a character model, because Lord Longfellow gets an additional dice on character models. Take 2 shots on him. Don't do the damage I want. Don't think I deal any damage with the first hit or the second hit, so I should have just ran the Frightmare up there first. Shot him, boosted, and then Longfellow goes in with 4 dice attacking him. That would have been a lot better. So here's where I got a little worried. I moved my Crabbit up a little bit, close to my pigs, just in case I could shield wall anything. I run another Crabbit up and get in base with his little spray constructs, just to try and hold them off a little bit. But the big issue here was moving my caster. I actually moved my caster within 5 inches of my shield wall pigs, and so, you know, it's just +2 armor instead of +4, which was, I just could not get over for the life of me. My Frightmare also took a pop shot at one of his big constructs. Didn't do much damage, but it was still cool. So move my caster up, and then I'm gonna make some smoke clouds. Like I tell my opponent I'm gonna make 3 smoke clouds. I put 2. I know where I'm putting 2, and then I just kind of dirtle with the other one for a while, and end up just putting it right on top of my caster, which turns out to be a pretty good spot. Forgot that I didn't activate my Gorehound. Didn't know where to put him, so I just kind of sacrificed him and threw him in the middle of that cloud. That way he wasn't able to walk through anything without getting in my my melee range. And then that's pretty much my my turn too.
Alright guys, moving into my second turn, I saw one of 2 options. I could either play the scenario, or I could try to TK his caster so that he would be outside of his cloud, and turn him around so that his defense 14 to begin with. The elevation he goes up to a 16, with the cloud he goes up to an 18. But if I can TK him outside of that cloud, he's going to go down to a 16, and then turn him around, he goes basically down to a 14. So back to his normal defense, and he's only an armor 14, so 14-14 seems like a pretty easy target. He does have 2 transfers, but I have at least 2 old weirds and a battle engine that I'm pretty sure can get to him if I do that. And then maybe a Wold Warden or Megalith can get to him as well. I don't know. But you know, you need 18s, or being defense 18. I thought about it. Like, my caster was going to be a magic ability 8 when I went for the attack rolls on him. I was going to have to TK my caster at one point, so that was going to be 2 of my Fury, of my 7 Fury. And then I had 5 to play with, so I could TK him, boost once, and then try to TK again. And then I had Megalith to try to TK, and a Wold Warden that to try to TK. So I thought I had pretty good odds here just to get the TK off. 4 attacks seemed pretty solid. So I end up going with that decision. Right now you just see me doing all the maintenance, collecting my stuff. We did some healing and some rolls for corrosion. Being able to heal everything a point in this list was awesome. It just made the list so much more effective, because on one of my old weirds he actually took out an aspect with the 1 point of damage that he did from his conversion, and then because I was able to heal, it did not end up losing that aspect, which is huge. So here you see me kind of doing the math and figuring out like how much fury I have and what my options are for this assassination run. Like I said, if I can get him off, get that TK off and move his caster, 14, the old weirds boost to hit their dice off 2. I should average 5 points of damage. I don't know how many boxes he has, but that's a minimum of 10 points a model if I hit averages. So that's 20 points of damage just from those dice, and then I have 3 shots from the battle engines that I can boost all the hit rolls and pretty much wreck this day. He's got 2 transfers. Now I'm feeling pretty solid about that assassination run if I can get that TK off. Here I forgot to actually do this on time. My opponent was gracious enough I went to pull off the Fury because I did this out of order. I was supposed to do that during my maintenance phase, and my opponent was gracious enough to let me keep it. So hats off to him for letting me do that. It's always great playing with Charlie. He's a great sport and very, very fun player. So I start measuring out my distance here for this assassination run. Krueger has 6-inch movement plus 2 for TK. There's an 8-inch movement, and then TK itself is a 10-inch spell, so that's an 18-inch threat on TK an opponent's model. And my opponent so graciously put his caster on top of a hill, which means I can see it pretty much guaranteed. So I'm really feeling that assassination run. I wasn't really feeling trying to play the attrition game, and I thought maybe I could go for the scenario here. Really thinking about pushing that top zone, just because if I can take that zone, I can take the flight, I can store 2 CPs. This turn, if my opponent contests the zone, that's fine, because then I'll probably still store 1 CP on the flat. That'll put me up to 3, and then if I can manage to clear out that zone one more time for the next turn, that would be another 2 CPs, and as long as I don't allow my opponent to store anywhere else, that would be game. But I just don't know that I'm going to be able to take out all those models with the forest there. He did a pretty good job of spreading his stuff out, making sure that wasn't did very good sprays, and engaging 2 of my mannequins with a Cravat. Okay, so here you see me measuring to make sure that I have the range to do that +1. I hit this roll here and I miss. So at this point I have to try to hard roll a 10 with 2 dice, and obviously I fail. So at this point, my opponent also popped an Arcana that gave all of my models -2 speed, which was huge. -2 speed, especially when I'm trying to get like TKs off on his caster and stuff. Like, it's such a problem. And here he is measuring out his control range to let me know what all's inside. We determined that pretty much the only thing that was not inside was the battle engine. So, you know, like not having that +2 speed means that, for one, I have to TK Medlith here just to get him in range of being able to TK his caster. Medlith being a 7 on his magic ability means I need 11s. So my odds here are a little bit worse than my caster were, but no. All things being even, I figure an 11 after 2 fill is probably not that bad. I rolled 1 die outside of the thing, and then my total ended up being like a 9, I think. I'd say I rolled like sits a 3 and, or no, like just sits a 5, a 3, and a 1. And at this point, you know, I'm really exposed to my caster. I'm missing that. All those TKs really sucked. I ended up doing the math afterwards and trying to figure out, you know, what were my actual chances of getting him with those 3 TKs, and just to hit with one of them, and it came out to about 84%, just over 84% chance to hit with one of those TKs. So, you know, this game I just happened to fall in that 16 percentile instead of the 84 percentile, and that's huge when you put your caster out like that. And now at this point, I'm just trying to make sure that I can get my last World Warden there to try and TK his caster, because I think I have the distance for it. So I'm just trying to kill models and move models out of the way so that I can move my World Warden in such a way that he's going to get there. So at this point, I'm trying to measure out, you know, whether or not I can actually reach his caster with a TK from the Warden here, and we're having a hard time trying to measure it out because you know the models there are just getting in the way. So I can't tell if I'm over my base while I'm over his base, or if we're over his base while I'm over my base. So we end up proxying 2 models so we can lay this thing flat and see if we're in range. And when we lay it down, we are out of range. So I even see if I move my World Weird first, and if I take a straight move, if I'd be in range, and it turned out to be no. So at this point, we are not looking good. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get to his caster for that TK, and my odds for winning this game are pretty much nil. So at this point, I think about it for a few more minutes, and then I decide to go ahead and concede to my opponent. You know, like I said, 84% chance. You just say that I should have gone for the scenario, or should have attrited. I was really nervous about those cavalry in front of me, and it just wasn't going to be an easy win for me. I don't think, and I don't always look for the easy win, but I am always about the assassination run. So when I saw it, I thought I'd go for it, and it just didn't work out for me this time.
So after my opponent went for the assassination, we both just kind of decided that I was gonna win the game after that. Running the king up there, giving double dark shroud, and you know, a full unit of brutal charge pigs was gonna kind of just destroy his caster. So we just called it after that. It was a good game, but the rules were not in my opponent's favor that one.
Alright, so I guess that's 2 losses in a row. I'm going to have to come back hard next time and give you guys a circle victory. I tried for the assassination. The more and more I've thought about it, the more and more I wish I would have gone for the scenario play. I think I could have done pretty well with that, with Rebuke on the cavalry in front of me and popping feet and everything being slower and pushed back. I think I could have easily taken that zone on the right and stored pretty hard with the zone and the flood. 3 turns running and probably won that game. So maybe next time.